Now 684 feet away from the station, Atlantis, continuing to perform this fly-around maneuver with STS-132 pilot Tony Antonelli at the controls from the flight deck. The two spacecraft just passing from Texas into Arkansas, going over Hot Springs at this point in time. They will cross the very southeastern tip of Missouri and then head over parts of Kentucky and then into Indiana. Can I call it Missouri? This is a view from onboard the International Space Station that is part of the mobile base system. The communications and tracking officers here inside Mission Control are attempting to steer the cameras around a bit to see if they can capture Atlantis. The shuttle currently over the Russian segment, approaching the Zvezda service module, coming up in just a few seconds. Once again, this is sequential still video from Atlantis. This is what we get when we don't have high data rate communication with the shuttle. So you will see the image change every few seconds. Atlantis now 693 feet away from the station. Getting very close to being lined up with the very back end of the Zvezda service module and the Soyuz TMA-17 that is currently docked there.
Houston Station on 2 for PDGF Stowe.
Go ahead, Tracy.
Please, Ronnie, DJ's doing a nice job wrapping up this PDGF per the procedure, and as he's winding bubble wrap around the pin, it made me wonder where the actual cover is for the pin. As Wheels and I practiced this in the pool many times, carrying this out, there was a protective, a hard shell, a clamshell cover that went over this pin to protect it. And it's my understanding that it's actually here on board somewhere, and we were going to install it prior to going out the door, and wondered why we're not finding that and installing it instead of trying to tape bubble wrap around it.
This is Mission Control Houston. Atlantis now crossing the 700 feet mark away from the station. There you see its current position. It is about to pull around the back end of the Zvezda service module, and then it continued down below the Russian segment. At that point, the crew will get their first views of the Progress 37 that is currently docked with the Pirs docking compartment, as well as the newly installed Zarya, the Rosfit module that's on Zarya. Atlantis now almost directly in line with the Russian segment, the aftmost portion of it, the International Space Station. The distance now 638 feet. The crew on board Atlantis continuing to take some photos of the entire complex as they get a one-of-a-kind view during this fly-around. After this fly-around is complete, Atlantis will complete a series of separation maneuvers that will take it away from the vicinity of the station. The first of those coming up in 24 minutes. Atlantis coming into view now on the space station's cameras as it passes to the back and below the Russian segment. There you can see the Progress 37 that is currently docked with the Pirs docking compartment. At the very back toward the lower center part of your screen, you can see the Soyuz TMA-17. And then there on the right is the brand new Rosvet module, which is now attached to Zarya. That, of course, came up with Atlantis during this mission, and the crew installed it as they were docked with the International Space Station. Atlantis and the station, currently 221 miles out over the Atlantic Ocean, just almost directly to the south of Greenland. They will be crossing to the south of Ireland and to the south of England before heading out over the southern part of France. Atlantis currently 623 feet away from the station.